Hey, and welcome back to my channel, as I celebrate the 1 year anniversary of having played Destiny. I started my journey originally back in July of 2015, and here we are, July 2016, watching over this beautiful city of Earth. I take my time now to reflect on a very joyous journey having gotten this far, both as a gamer and as a YouTuber, because I first had my original documentations on this gameplay when I was first starting out. And it's all come full circle now. So yay. It's good, and then at the same time right now I'm also trying to reflect on the possibilities of this, of where I go from here. Because minus Crucible and minus Prison of Elders, Trials, and Strikes, I've done all the raids, I've done all the strikes, normal, hard mode, had my tenure in Trials, but I can't really continue to pursue it because I can't get together the raid team that I want at the right times. I'm trying to still get into it now, so I'm trying to take it here and there when I can. Multiplayer is okay, but it's not as... Then the dailies are okay. They keep me entertained for the most part until I get my marks. I glimmer grind, and then after that, that's it. It all becomes rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. And it gets tedious and eventually considerably dull and boring and witty. And the only thing that has any redeeming qualities about doing that is doing it with a friend. That way I can bullshit amidst getting it done. In a preceding post of mine, I had put out there what it is I want for the Destiny community. Tell me what it is that you really want to see from my channel in the Destiny department. Because, I mean, I could go in detail about a whole lot of things if I so chose. But if you're not really going to watch it in the first place, then why would I need to bother, is my question. There was someone from one of my past things that said that they wanted to try and see my vault. And try and see what my vault looks like, as to how much progress a gamer like me could get done in 1 year's time. You got your question, and you got your answer. I was surprised and a little saddened by the fact that it got just as many dislikes as it got likes. I mean, I got all the same stuff, all the same exotics, just like everybody else has. That's already a veteran at this game, even though I'm not a veteran. And so I'm surprised by some of the stuff that I'm surprised by the feedback I got about that, because my vault's very tiny compared to a lot of the veterans, because they hoard a lot of their stuff in the vault. Me, I just have select stuff on my characters already set and builds already set aside, so that way I can just go into my vault and call upon them when I need them, which is mainly only going to ever be during a raid, or when it's with a specific team doing Nightfall. Now, my conclusion out of all this is that, granted, you will stay tuned to my channel when I do my Destiny posts, but considering you don't really tell me what it is that you want, and I guess you're assuming that I'm already going to know what it is that you want, and I'll just randomly post it, and it'll just get dozens and dozens of views like it usually does. That's incorrect. What helps this progress this along, that way I can continue to show you more interesting content and not just show you the same stuff. Now that I'm more established, I can show you the same thing like anybody else who's done YouTubing on Destiny and done. I can show you the same stuff, but if you're not really going to watch it because you've already seen it done, or you've seen it done better, then why would I want to do that just to show you, when I can tell you, hey, I've done this, hey, I've done that. You can see my tracking progress, and you can see for yourself that I've already accomplished the same accolade in my own right. I might not have made it, for lack of a better word, I might not have made it look good, but I still managed to pull it off. Ah, crap. So what I'm going to do here is, since I've already hit the 1 year marker, and I'm almost at the platinum, and I'll get to that in a second. I've decided that I'm going to make my final series of YouTube videos for this gameplay, and I'm not going to leave it in your hands to ask whether or not you want me to stay or if you want me to leave. I think it's best that I probably show myself the door, because if I'm not getting any feedback, then I already know that you guys are silent about this thing, so I'd preferably disengage from telling you my journey any further than where I will decide to showcase it next. In addition to this, with the coming arrival of the Rise of Iron DLC that's going to take this game into year 3, this also further sets back my plans. This sets back my plans because the Rise of Iron DLC content that's going to be released in August or whatnot, that's going to be only for PlayStation 4 and Xbox One, or just play next gen altogether is where Bungie has his attention at, which is still a personal fuck you to the dedicated PlayStation 3 gamers who still had to pour a whole lot of their money into trying to get this shit for Destiny, because it's a committed gameplay. It's a committed game. You have to stick this shit out all the way to the end until you either can't afford it anymore or you can't no life anything anymore. The Rise of Iron DLC won't be out for another month or so, so the end of July is when I will be making my final send-off of Destiny. But we have a long way to go until that day comes, and I'll try and stick this out on Destiny for as long as I can. With a number of my friends also having pulled away from playing Destiny on the PS3, and they only just come back just to do specific things, or just to mess around and meet with people that still don't have a PS4, then this entices the offer of more creativity that I have to really put in my work. That's going to be even harder to do, and I already know. It's just frustrating. It's seriously frustrating. And it shouldn't need to be frustrating when it's supposed to be a fun game to begin with. The problem I have now that I'm going to go into right now, the problem I've had with this game is the continual annoyances that continue to make it a little bit more, I don't know, it might be petty on my part, but the little annoyances here and there that don't seem to really be addressed as much. I mean, with the constant loading in, that's fine. That's a small setback. That ain't no big deal. The atmosphere of Crucible has changed considerably to people that use skill to now just spammers and campers. I honestly don't like that because it makes it unnecessarily harder to get a good KD ratio, because it's just people, because it becomes repetitive. It becomes repetitive game after game after game. The same stuff that people do. They don't really try to mix it up. That's what I can appreciate somewhat about Iron Banner, is because Iron Banner mixes it up. Yeah, it does brings that bullshit along too, but it mixes it up, and I can be appreciative of that. Another annoyance, and it's a bigger one. It's a more repetitious one that's become a pattern until the last couple times we've done it, was the King's Fall raid, because that's a team-oriented raid that requires usually a minimal 4 people, max 6 people, in order to get it done. That raid has been annoying for the longest goddamn time. So annoying. There was a time when it first came out, I was so ecstatic about playing it because I loved playing it over and over and over again. I loved playing it so much. It was so much fun. But then, after a while, when it became harder and harder to complete because of the raid team I was with, my original raid team that I did that with all the time, where we breezed all the way through it, past Golarov, past the War Priest, past the Sisters, all the way to Oryx, done, deal, did it in like an hour-ish, hour and a half, rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. They moved on to PS4. And now the people that I'm working with here, between the randoms that I meet over here, my friends from War for Cybertron or Fall of Cybertron that have their friends that come over here, can't finish it. They cannot finish it for crap. And people here in the Destiny community that I work with or that I'm trying to help with their raid teams, again, cannot finish it for shit. And it gets so annoying. And then there are people that join the match halfway into it that are quitters. So many quitters, ragers, whatever you want to call them, troublemakers, bullshitters that are in these fire teams, and then once it gets tough, when you really got to sit and focus on what you're doing, they suddenly can't do it, and they have a problem with everybody about it, or they put their problems on everybody else because they don't know how to play that. They don't know their role. They don't know how to play the game. That gets repetitive. Let me tell you something. I've done King's Fall raid a total of now 83 times. 83. And 83 of those times, we've only fully completed that raid from start to finish. Start to finish, all the points, every last one of them. Start to finish, only 10 times. 10 out of those 83 times, it was worth it. The other 70 plus times can go F off for all I care, because it was a waste of time, because you get halfway into it, you miss your chance, you gotta wait for everybody else to come back in, or it resets, and then, or it either resets and you have to restart it all over again, or else you gotta get a whole new batch of people, or they have to replace one or two people with one or two other people that don't know what to do. You have to explain it to them again, which is fine to some extent, unless I have to repeat it 3 or 4 additional times, or it's just that one particular part where they mess it up, where they should know what to do, or you give them the simplest part to do, but they still can't get it right. Ooh, you better sit down. The headaches of that gameplay. Crota's End and Vault of Glass are a lot more relaxing raid, and they can be paced out a lot more accordingly. It's just King's Fall is the most rewarding in order to get stuff out of it, but it's the most unnecessarily frustrating. And it's just, I've had it with that raid. I used to love playing it so much, but I just don't care. I don't care to do it anymore. Not unless there's a saved checkpoint before the reset, or there's a good reason why I want to be there, or why I'm requested to be there.
We'll look for them.
Now, coming back around to what it is I was saying first in the beginning of my documentation. Excuse me. The platinum of the video game. In the end, the platinum of this video game was also what it is I wanted to accomplish in the end. After all the nice adventures I've had in this game, all the people I've met, the journeys I've had, and the journeys I was able to document, and a lot of the accomplishments I was able to achieve in my own right, both with friends and by myself. All of them accumulated to me getting numerous different accolades. And I wanted to try and complete it before I end the game. I want to try and see if I can get the platinum. I'm a little disappointed because with what's left with the platinum that I have to complete, that's the hard part in order to get past. Between the raiding party silver trophy, where I have to complete a raid with a full fire team consisting of only clan members, and the flawless raider gold trophy, where you have to complete a raid without anyone in the fire team dying one time, I've already got my hands full with both. My clan tag, the Satanic Kings, is a disbanded clan right now, and so me, Holy Penny, and Megadeth can't exactly rendezvous all the guys up in order to try and 1, 2, or possibly 3-man Crota's End and get all the way to the end, and probably might be able to get that. I don't know. I don't know if they still have this game for the PS3 console, to be honest with you. And, well, I can always ask them anyway. And for the Flawless Raider trophy, I can almost kiss that shit goodbye. Because I haven't been with a raid team yet that can't go the whole time without dying one time. Every raid I've had to, we've died numerous times, including me. I'm not perfect. I've died lots of different times in the raid also. I know for Crota's End, there is a cheese spot where you can go through half of it with a little more ease to it than usual, and then in order to get past the sword part, there's a cheese spot to get to the top of the tower, I think. because that can also, and then I think you blade dance across or some shit. I cannot remember exactly what it was, because I've never done the glitch before. Every time I've done Crota's End, I've always done it the normal way. Yes, it takes longer, but I feel it's just as effective, or it's supposed to be effective. It's the initial way of doing it. And then the cheesing way is much, much, much easier. Those two trophies, all in all, are what's setting me back from getting the platinum. And after all this time of doing raids, and yet not having actually done it flawlessly, it really irks me, because I can't... It bothers me so much, because it feels like it's aside from failure. Because I should have been able to complete this already, but the problem is that with those things you have to depend on other people. And if other people aren't dependent upon, then why even try to pursue the accomplishment? Because other people are more or less depending upon you, and if you're depending upon them, well then somewhere along the line somebody has to get good, or someone has to just get going. I don't mind helping people with these things. It's just I have a problem when I have to continually carry people through these things. Once upon a time, yeah, I was carried through these things also. But what changed for me, instead of having to depend on other people, is that I eventually got good at playing this game. And I started doing everything solo. That way I could extend the proficiency of not needing anyone's assistance on anything unless it was necessary. Why do you think I can solo all this shit? Why do you think I'm soloing this thing right now? This thing is on hard mode, supposedly, and this is chump change compared to what it is I usually do. I went through all that trouble to get excessively good at playing this game. That way, I got somebody else's back and they got my back. It's not just them carrying my back the whole time. Because I don't like that too much after a while. Because you got to make it up to them, and you got to make it up to yourself. Because if you can do better by yourself in order to pull your weight, then why not just do it? Now, with so much stuff that I've gone over that was wrong with this thing, I can also say that there are some things that have gone right with this gameplay for me. Because I've appreciated the fact in having seen the story through from year 1 to year 2, and about to see it come full circle again as year 3 for a little bit. Got a chance to see the Prison of Elders year 1 and year 2. I got a chance to play the game considerably to a long extent with my friends and family, and it ended up being just a really fun experience to share, fun experience to document. Getting the exotics were really fun. Finding a lot of unique legendaries was always really fun. Yeah. My journey really speaks for itself in terms of good highlights, bad highlights, laughable moments, needless moments, whole bunch of bullshit, and intriguing little things here and there, like right now. Boop! And so here we are. I know the Taken King DLC, when it first came out, that was really put my channel on the map, with a whole lot of stuff I was covering alongside other YouTubers, but that time has passed now. What I'm going to be doing now is covering my next few set of videos, and then when my time comes, I'll just walk away. This is Rodimus Prime signing off for now. Until next time, my friends. Until all are one. I'll see you in the stars.